We have a question here from Sergei saying that he's been seeing and hearing lots of news lately about LIBOR and some of the other short-term interest rate products, and he wants to know what the significance of all of these new recent releases or emphasis on the LIBOR has been. So thanks for the question, Sergey. So let's start with some introductions into LIBOR and SOFR. Now, LIBOR is short for the London Interbank Offered Rate, and SOFR is short for the Secured Overnight Financing Rate. Now, both of these products or rates are part of STIRS, which are basically short-term interest rate products. And LIBOR and SOFR and SONIA is just some of the current benchmarks being used for interest rate futures and related products, things like interest rate swaps and futures contracts, loans, mortgages, etc. So drastic changes in LIBOR will affect all the associated products and rates that are connected to that LIBOR rate because it is a benchmark and it's been used as a benchmark for the past 50 years, more after the Second World War. And according to some estimates, there are roughly 400 trillion transactions that are basically underpinned by the LIBOR rate. Now, what's important about LIBOR recently is that it has been, it's been used for that benchmark for a whole range of products and rates, as we said, especially as it relates back to something like the Euro-dollar futures contract, which is also seen as an overall gauge of short-term interest rates and interest rate expectations, and it can be seen as a gauge of overall market health. Now, why you're hearing all of these current noises and news about LIBOR is because LIBOR is busy being phased out, and it will be completely phased out by December 2021. And currently, there's lots of deliberation and talks on which other STIR should replace the LIBOR, with other ones being mentioned like the SOFR as well as SONIA. Now, the main problem with this transition now, is that all of those contracts, all of those 400 trillion transactions and contracts that it's been underpinned by LIBOR as its reference rate will basically not be valid anymore after December 2021. So if it expires after 2021, it means that all of them will probably need to be rewritten with a new rate as its base. And that will, of course, involve a whole lot of costs, a whole lot of headaches for firms who will need to rewrite them and check them and double check them. So from a legal perspective, it's really going to be a big headache. So there's a lot of firms talking about possible AI intervention to try and make that process a little bit more seamless. But that is the whole hype about LIBOR recently. It will be phased out by the end of next year. And it does pose a few problems in terms of the legality, but not really something that is a major concern for us in the immediate term from a trading point of view, so to speak. So I hope that helps, Sergio, with the question. Any others, as usual, please don't hesitate to let us know.